Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan, and the topic of this 10-minute moan is talking about the law that this Labour government are trying to push through, which would make it illegal to possess a photograph of any Muslim woman without her hijab on. Now, this just baffles me. Now, before I get into the story, right, that's the crux here, right, that's the headline. I need to ask one particular question. If I saw a woman, and I'm out making videos, I do them in public from time to time. If I saw a woman without a hijab on, how would I have any clue as to her religion? How would that possibly be workable? So, for example, if I go out in the streets where I'm covering a local interest story, I make a video, there's a woman walks behind me, she is Muslim, and she doesn't have a head covering up. How am I meant to know? Am I meant to be racist and think, well, with her skin colour and the colour of her hair and the rest of the clothes she's got on, she's obviously a Muslim? Is that what I'm meant to do? Or do I need to stop every single person that I come up about? I could be on holiday taking snaps on a beach and somebody, walking by a promenade. There's 100 things that could happen here. But again, people go, but that's daft. Well, that might be daft. But I don't think saying the law is daft is any defence in court if anybody was to be prosecuted for doing such a thing going forward. And we've got too many laws like this. And how many distressed Muslim women have we got that get photographs taken without a hijab on? You're like, why do we need a law for this? And even if it was, quite a bad thing, how many people are actually affected by it, if any at all? Right? But the woke left are doing this thing again, that they do again and again and again. They decide, well, it's a minority, so we must do more. I'm actually going to fully investigate the other claims that if you're from an ethnic minority, you should be considered for different sentences through our criminal judiciary system. What I read of that so far, I'm thinking that can't be right either. I need to investigate this more before I put a 10-minute video together on it. But all this sort of nonsense, excuse me, is just nothing more than virtue signalling. It's absolutely bonkers, and it's got to stop. So, going into the story, possessing photographs of Muslim women without a hijab on should be made a criminal offence, MPs have proposed. The Commons Women and Equalities Committee said pictures of Muslim women without headscarves taken without her consent should be considered non-consensual intimate images. Well, it just blows my mind. What's intimate about somebody's face or their head, right? I've got a naked head. Even me going out without a hat on is not intimate. It's just my head, right? And anybody that thinks those photographs are intimate, I would suggest need their hard drive checked, because that ain't normal. Such photographs should be treated the same as child sex abuse images, possession of which can carry long prison sentences, the MPs said. Who in their right mind thinks a photograph of a fully clothed woman is anywhere near as serious as having photographs of children being abused? What planet do you live on when you come out with this nonsense? The proposal will deepen concerns that Islam is poised to win legal protections which are not afforded to other religions under British law. Aye, imagine you took a photograph of a nun without her head covering on. Right? Is that somehow pornographic? Kinda don't think so. It comes after planned definition of Islamophobia being championed by Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner was slammed for risking a blasphemy law by the back door. The committee report published today, that was yesterday, concluded the government should bring forward amendments to the Crime and Policing Bill to make possessions of non-consensual intimate images an offence. Now that kind of makes sense, but then we've got to define what an intimate photograph is. And it certainly ain't somebody that's fully clothed without something in their noggin, right? What is intimate about that? The committee said the law currently defines an intimate image as one which shows someone fully or partially nude. engaging in sexual act or using the lavatory. That sounds fair enough. Why do we need to say, and Muslim women without headscarves on? Right? Why would you bring anybody's religion into it at all? Surely something that's intimate and not nice is the same regardless of what religion you follow. Surely, we don't go, well, such and such could find that intimate and such couldn't. Either is or it isn't. And I kind of think fully or partially nude engaging in a sexual act or using a lavatory, yeah, that's definitely intimate images. That's no right. Somebody's not said, yeah, you can take that photo of me, put my arse in there, right? That's no right. But not having a hijab on. These people are nuts. But MPs concluded that abuse can also include material that is considered culturally intimate for the victim, such as a Muslim woman being pictured without a hijab. Well, if I take a photograph in public and there happens to be somebody in that screenshot that's out in public without a headscarf on, then they obviously think it's not that intimate or they wouldn't be able to leave the house. For example, in some cultures, countries or religions, sharing a photograph of someone without their religious clothing or with an arm around another person can be disastrous for the victim. So they're getting worse. So what they're saying is, if you took a photograph and somebody happened to be in it who were holding hands or walking down the street, giving each other a cuddle, then you'd be offending them. Well, if I was that offended, I wouldn't be cuddling somebody in the street in the first place. And it just beggars belief. Minister of Justice, Minister Alex Davis-Jones, told the committee last November that the Law Commission, which advises the government on legal changes, had previously decided against such a move, concluding it would be impossible to craft a definition that suits everyone and therefore it could result in over-criminalisation. She said, well, I kind of agree with Minister Alex Davis-Jones. She sounds like someone who's got a brain. But the committee's Labour chairperson, Sarah Owen, she's the one that said non-consensual intimate images are abuse of deeply personal crime, which can have life-changing and life-threatening consequences. See, if it was life-threatening me not wearing a hijab, I would probably not be anywhere near anybody with a camera, right? So I'm losing the will to live. It's just bonkers. David Spencer of the think tank Policy Exchange said, tackling the problem of revenge porn is clearly important, but expanding this to so-called culturally intimate images risks extending the criminal law too far. The police cannot be expected to wade into so-called cultural issues when officers are already struggling to deal with the volume of stabbings, sexual assaults and thefts that occur every day. The government should be cautious about creating yet more criminal offences. Thank you very much, Mr. David Spencer, for bringing some common sense and logic back in to the room. I doff my cap to you, sir. However, the rest of you, you're potty, right? Now, if anybody thinks these things are a good idea, then I'm sure there's countries in the world where having no hijab on whatsoever is a criminal offence. You maybe want to consider living there, because then for everybody will wear a hijab and nobody will get intimate photographs of somebody's noggin, right? You're potty. If you enjoyed the video and you want others to see it, please hit the thumbs up. That helps a lot. And also put a comment in. Those two things help drive any particular video. If you've not already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you like this video and you've not seen many of my videos, see down here when the video is finishing, YouTube will put a video there that you've not seen that they think you'll like based on your watch time in the past. But the most important thing of all, unless you are a nutcase that thinks somebody covered for the neck down, fully clothed, can possibly be an intimate photograph, then no you. But
everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.